going on, Vic?
What's up, brother?
Nothing much, man.
What's going on, brother?
Just alive to see another week, another show come together. And hello to you on the other side of this camera.
Yes.
My name is Jack. I go by they, them. And if this is your first time here.
Yes. My name is Vic, and I go by Cock and Sucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, HR. We got in trouble with HR. They want us to be more soft.
Well,
so that's how they want us to start off. Snowflake?
No. What was it? More
politically correct?
Politically correct. More, when like everybody's got to come together and become this one.
Yes.
That we all have to be.
We've been trying to bring the world together for what, 2022 years now? At least that.
Yeah.
On paper?
Yeah, I'd say.
But Jack, hold on. Before we get on to what's today's show, we owe our listeners, well, not we, Riverside, the app I use, they owe our listeners a little bit of an apology because we didn't get to have our video recording on YouTube for last episode. We recorded the show. It was 1 hour and 6 minutes. When I go to hit the stop recording button, it wouldn't stop. I was on there for an additional 22 minutes, try to reach the support. They never answered, and I had no choice but to X out. Once I X'd out, the recordings were gone. Yours was still there because obviously we're recording from separate places, but mine wasn't. And then they gave me a backup recording, but the quality was so shitty that I couldn't edit it. And I'm not going to produce anything that's shit.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
You had to come out with just the audio. So
we went back old school, season 1 and 2 with just audio.
Yeah.
But we're back, hopefully. So hopefully this is going to end up on YouTube. Our mics sound amazing right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
I got it.
It's nuts how, like, after doing this for a while, this is our third season, our third year, like, you hear everything perfect. You know what's wrong. You know what's hitting. You know what's up. But enough of this bullshit. I don't want to bore people. What's on today's show, Jack?
All right. Well, today we got our usual updates, and then we'll be picking up with women that are making up their own Hallmark holidays. They're thinking of reasons to give each other ideas, and we'll go through a couple of those.
Oh yeah,
some of our pet peeves on that. Then we'll jump into some Jack's news and the lottery. Because that was a big fucking deal. I don't know if anybody there knows, but it was in the billion.
Yes, 100 billion trillion dollars.
Yeah. And then we'll get into some Vic's fantasy football news, some notes, some insight, and he'll be touching up on the tight ends and the defenses.
Oof. You know what TE stand for? Thank God.
I do. I used to look at the paper and learn things.
Right.
You get out! Leave.
No, you know this. It's the only sport that I played and, became semi-decent at.
What the fuck is that?
All right. Yeah. But let's get on your updates, Jack.
All right.
Let's see what we got.
This actually just happened, and it's literally all I could think of. I don't know how everybody else here deals with their neighbors, but every once in a while, if I'm grilling and my kids have friends over, they come over and they'll have a hot dog or whatever. But I was having dinner with family. I was having family dinner. This is a traditional, my culture, I guess, kind of thing where we sit down and have family time.
It's like Sunday sauce.
It's like Sunday sauce, but it's everybody checks in. I think that's a very important time, especially for dinner. But I come outside to go get my kids, and the kid goes, "Hey, Mr. J, Kim, what's for dinner?" The fuck? What's for dinner? I don't know. Whatever they're having at your house. Like,
I would have started to put it on like a Joker impression.
Yeah.
I want to know how I got these scars.
How dare you?
That's fucking hilarious. Why is that anyway? Like, they just is he such a great parent or?
Yes. We'll start with that. I'm the fucking best dad in the world.
Answer, yes.
Exactly. But the dinner at some of these other places is usually hot dogs. So when I say I'm cooking dinner, they think hot dogs. I'm thinking dinner.
Yeah.
Like, I had homemade sauce. My brother came over. He hooked it up with some sauce. And, I'm having fucking dinner. But,
exactly.
Bro, I can't. So I have to tell them, like, listen, we have family dinner at the table. You enjoy your family. We enjoy family time. And my kids know how to tell them that. I don't need to fucking tell them that.
Which is great because your kids have a unusual vocabulary, like things they're talking about at their age. I didn't learn till like the 7th grade. And I feel like you don't baby gaga, goo goo gaga your kids. You talk to them like fucking like they're 30 and miserable and married and divorced.
Yeah.
Why you fuck me? I fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I talk to them like they're my roommates. I don't talk to them like they're my, like, hey,
where's grocery money, bitch?
Yeah, well, I mean, not yet, but I can't wait for them to get a job. No, but I look, I agree. I know some 7-year-olds that still do that whole baby boo boo gaga, and you know what it is? It's the parents. It's the retarded mentally unstable parents that'll talk to a human and go, I'm going to teach you these words. And then as soon as you talk to anyone else, no one understands you.
Yeah.
Why?
It's true.
Yeah. And the jammy. Oh, and it gets worse because they don't say the right word that you're, for instance, they'll say whammies, but the word that they're trying to teach the kid is jammies because that's easier than pajama.
Yeah.
So what you end up with is an adult that then says jammies.
Yes. You end up like me, 33 with a 5th grade reading level. I go to the interview. The guy goes, all right, so tell me about yourself. Well, I grew up in Queens. No, Dick, that's not what he means. I learned. No, I'm just a late bloomer.
Yeah.
Thank God for the military. Oh, I mean, half of them weren't that bright, but for the most part, you learned how to fake shit. Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Yeah. And if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But, but my kids know what the fuck they're doing. And, they go to other places and they're like, oh my God, they're so, your children are so well spoken. I'm like, yeah. Because I don't talk to them like they're fucking retarded.
Yeah.
I like turtles.
So, yeah, man, you can't be politically, you have to be politically correct. And so I don't go and tell parents how to talk to their kids, but if they're at my house and they sound like they're stupid, I'll make them. What? The fuck did you say?
It's not jammies. It's pajamas. That's like sodies. It's not soda. It's not sodies.
Right. I don't care what your retarded parents told you.
I mean, you don't want to get too crazy. I mean, kids are kids, but eventually, I mean, like I said, in the long run, it'll better them, hopefully, or they become snobby little brats. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
Stay tuned.
You know what sucks though? This person's my friend, and I feel bad. What do you got?
What do I got? Well, first of all, shout out to the Be a Man wearing his shirt. Updates. You told me to watch Bill Burr. You didn't need to tell me. I just didn't know it was out at the time. Bill Burr's comedy special. It's live at the Red Rocks. It's on Netflix. Let me tell you something. I love to annoy my girl, right? And nothing is better than annoying my girl when she's trying to sleep because I like to watch my shows when she's sleeping. Because I pay attention. You know, I'm not on the phone. I'm not getting up for water. I'm not pausing it. I want one take. Even though I did fall asleep, but from what I watched, the first 45 minutes, Mr. Wilfred Burr, Bill Burr, is going to go down as, that's his real name, Wilfred, I believe. Yeah. Is going to go down as one of the greatest fucking comics in the world, man. I mean, this guy, he really delivers that raw comedy. That's the shit I like. I hate this censor shit. I hate people that gotta beat around the world. He just dives in it. And he's not one-sided or the other-sided. He's as neutral as can be. Well, and he pokes at both sides. I think he's a little more on the right side, as I see it.
No. You see, I think that the majority of white American men, I can't speak for everybody, but I think that's the majority of like the people that grew up in the fucking our lifetime, give or take. Well, even 10, a little, 10 years.
Yeah, I'd say so, if you're in your 40s, you're definitely going to get this. If in your 30s, you were the reason why you get this, you know?
Put it this way: if your father was not the main reason for your absolute panic every time he came in the door, you didn't live this life.
Exactly. Yeah. If you had to hide underneath the bed when your dad got home at work,
you know what we're talking about.
You know what we're talking about.
If not, you weren't in that generation. So, and he picks up that comedy from that era.
Yes.
And it was the I don't give a fuck comedy. Yeah. It was the I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want comedy.
Exactly. I mean, that's what comedy should be. They're like Gilbert Godfrey said. There's no hold barge. Just go out there, do your thing. You want to stun people.
Yeah. Don't come out with an apology.
Yeah, exactly. So Bill Burr, like I said, live at the Red Rocks, available on Netflix. Yeah. Then I'm reading an article the other day, the WNBA.
That was good.
And like there's something like with their former star, Brittany Griner, I believe you pronounce it. Basically, she carried a vape marijuana cartridge in her luggage and had a trip to Moscow. If you live on the Iraq, you don't know what the hell we're talking about. I don't even know what the NBA is, really. I'm just... But she got caught. She did plead guilty, and now she's in the hands of the Russians. But what I don't get is, like, what are they losing, $3,000 a year not having her? You're going to spend more money trying to get her back than what... Yeah. Which, I mean... What does she make? Like $150,000 a year?
Contract?
I mean, yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, no, it does.
Stephen Curry makes that a quarter, and he's got yeah,
but they don't because they don't. Nobody's watching it. I mean, and that was what came up in the
Bill Burr
comedy special.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah. It's crazy. It's we're not the problem. Men are not the problem. Stop blaming men. Blame your promoters. Blame the women themselves. You know, women want to complain about this, but I guarantee you the same people that complain never been to a WNBA game in the last 90 days. And if you have, you go once or twice a year.
I don't think the problem is that it's women. I think it's that it's basketball. Because, you know, I mean, even Bill Burr said it, like, oh, it's like basketball, except without all that dunking.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally, but not even that, because I don't think that the performance is going to be the same.
They need to mix it up with a little UFC.
What do you mean? Like make it a little bit more rough? Yeah. Where they have to like throw elbows
Punch
and
someone
shit?
in the
like
face. Get our attention. The world runs on men money.
Right. And that's, and I, you know what? The women's MMA
is amazing.
Like the women that fight.
I'd rather watch women MMA than sometimes the men.
And part of me's got to think they know that they're fighting for that attention. They're fighting for those eyes.
It's always attention.
You know what I mean? So they're gonna really throw a little extra. They're gonna fucking do what you got. You know.
And it's always something like hatred too. Like men, they'll go up there, they'll fight. There'll be a little drama in between, but it's mainly let's fight, let's put on a good show. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. They're fighting because of what she said on Twitter, what she found out a year ago, what's been talking behind my back, and all that.
Oh yeah. But I think there's certain sports though that if like I was watching, I don't know if this is not in the news, not in the notes, but the ping pong thing I was telling you about. Not to get crazy into it because this is going to be about a future episode, maybe.
Ma'am. So, it is
wink, wink.
Yeah.
But women's and men's just as exciting. I know it sounds stupid. Oh, you're talking about professional ping pong. Yeah, I'm talking about Olympic level ping pong table, the table tennis.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy and it doesn't fucking matter. But when the team sucks and when both teams suck, the game really, like, you can't watch it for more than 5 minutes. You have to, I guess it's like baseball. Like if nothing's going on, you just.
Yeah. It's almost like billiards. Everyone caught themselves watching billiards at 3 a.m. one day and just were like, wow, this is incredible. But it's not, I mean, ping pong is not something I'm going to watch traditionally.
No. But as far as performance,
yes.
I feel like they perform on the same level. They got all the enthusiasm, they got all the style and the techniques, and it's really fucking fun to watch. But in WNBA, is that really a thing? Or is it just people, shooting?
I got to be honest, I don't think I've ever watched the WNBA.
Yeah.
Never. Not even 10. I can't even say I watched 10 seconds of it. I couldn't name two people besides the one I just named that I didn't even know her name.
Who? Grenier? Yeah,
exactly.
See, I had already forgotten. I had to look.
Patricia?
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
First of all, if he's 6'7" and you're a female, I'm not even looking at you regardless. And I don't even want to see it. It's just
Careful.
oof.
How dare you?
Tall women are going to start fucking having problems with you.
Yeah. All right, so
And this was over vape marijuana in
hey,
Russia?
if it's illegal, it's illegal, no? Hashish.
I guess. Yeah.
All right, and before we get into the topic, I just want to say fantasy football is around the corner for us men. I know I got a draft date set up August 29th, and I'm in another league waiting for that fucking date to drop, but September 8th, the world changes in men.
Is it weird that I feel like this is a holiday that I'm missing out on by not having participated?
I always tell my friends, especially the ones that get married and have kids, you need to get into football. It's an excuse to get away on Sundays and Mondays. It's just, you got to build that in. It's just something you have to build in.
I'm trying to build in fucking any kind of time.
I'm going to have to sit with you.
I don't know.
My son, put you on my lap, and we're going to have to watch Sunday football from 1 to 11 o'clock at night, and I have to explain everything to you.
All right.
You played football too. Anyways. Anyways, so let's get into this topic. This was out of the blue. Like, we had something scheduled for today's show, more or less, but I ended up getting into something which I'll explain, and push present was one of the main focus. Now everyone's on push present. Just stay tuned. All right, so this is how it started. I went to go visit friends of mine, Joe and Joanne. I shouted them out earlier. They just recently had a baby girl back in June. So I go there to hang out. Dom had dinner, and I was like, I'm going to go visit my friends, see the baby. Do you guys want to hang out? Yeah, for sure. We'll get a barbecue, a couple burgers. And, Jack back then gave me an Omaha care package, which I still have, and it's in the freezer.
Best steak.
Yes.
Best steak you'll ever have.
In a box shipped to your house. I mean, there's no better steak than going to a real steak house. But like I said, for what it was worth, yes, great. So I took the box and I headed over, and we're outside, we're making steaks. Joanne's with the baby, I'm with the baby, Joe's with the baby, but we're also cooking, blah, blah, blah. So we're eating at the table. Right. Just to set it up, we all had our drinks, we had the burgers, the steaks, some bratwursts. We're eating, we're talking, and all of a sudden, my friend Joanne goes, "Oh, what do you think about push presents?" It didn't click. I had no idea what it was until 2 days ago. No fucking idea.
So she actually asked you, like,
like if I had known what this is, like the color red. Like, what do you think about the color red? That's how she asked me. What do you think about push presents?
I feel like she asked you. I think she asked you knowing exactly how you felt about it.
No, I had no idea what this was.
No.
Yeah, you want to read this definition? From what we found.
So a push present is this was what the first thing that came up, just a quick one. Push present is a present a partner or family gives to the mother to mark the occasion of her giving birth to their child. In practice, the present may be given before or after birth. Fuck that, you get it after, if anything. Or even in the delivery room, which if you need things in your life that bad that as soon as you shit out a kid, you're looking for something material, you got problems. The giving of push presents has supposedly grown in the United States in recent years. So heads up to
only
future...
in the United States. Remember that.
Yeah.
Only in the United States.
There's a lot that's only in the United States. There's a lot of things that are only in the United States.
So, before I get to where we started, where this thing originated, from where I can come up with them, from what I asked and found on Google. So imagine eating at the table and then finding out what a push present is for the first time. Like, I didn't even want to eat no more. Because it's like, it's like, dude, listen, we're all blue collared here. We're average guys. Why do we got to continually go into the bank? Like, the bank should be like it was back in the day, where you go once a month, you pull out, and you're good for 2-3 months, Like,
we had to go
it's like crazy now. It's like, what the fuck?
We need more gifts. We need more reasons to give away our money.
It's like, shit, are we saving up for rainy days? Like God forbid,
No.
I don't know, the baby fall breaks its leg and we lose insurance or something like that, or just like, God, like, why?
The radiator.
Yeah. And it's like,
gets a crack in
I
your
hear
car,
like these,
and now you have
these
to
push presents can be anywhere between $2,000 to like $8,000. If that's a one and done kid, then if that's the case,
what is that? You're giving away the kid's college.
Yeah, like why? Put that money into the bank, or
that's insane.
Or save it for like birthdays. Like with $8,000, you can have the first 10 to 12 birthdays if you do it right.
And I think for the listeners, this isn't a rant on the fact that these things exist at all. It's that it's gotten to the point where the ones that are happening are 2,000 to 4,000, 12,000. You said, like, I think if you're J-Lo and you got nothing else but money coming out your ass,
that's a different story.
You know,
if you got it, and that's what we're gonna get into. If you got it, you got it.
Yeah.
But don't. Yeah. It's so like where it's from. So obviously I got to Google these things, but then I also have to ask a bunch of my female friends. They seen it on the Housewives, but if you go on Google, which I believe Google
there
actually for the first time. What happened?
I said, and there it is.
Motherfucker.
And that
Real House, they don't do anything involving housewife stuff.
That's how they make it in your house.
Yes.
That's how the rich and famous bullshit, like a push present, the ridiculousness of it, makes it into your house. And then your wife's pregnant and goes, so what are you, because you know that they have to ask, what are you going to get for a push present? And then you go, are you trying to emulate a rich person? Because you're not. I'm not. Oh, but it doesn't have to be like $1,000. It doesn't have to exist at all. Because
and let me bring something since we're on it. So I'm assuming they heard it on the Housewives, but where's this really originating? And like I said, I'm going to believe Google for the first time. It's the jewelry industry. Mm-hmm. That's how they're trying to sell more jewelry and stuff. They said, get your wife a push present. Now, what people that watch reality TV don't understand the realization is that these people are getting free push presents to push the narrative. So when you see them on reality TV, they got free jewelry. But for you think they bought it. You think that husband actually went to fucking K&J Jeweler, whatever the fuck it is, and spent that money. No,
right.
It's free.
Every kiss begins with K.
No. Kill. That's what K stands for. Yeah. So it's like they're rich, they got it, and it's like don't rub this off on people. You know how people like, you got women that are giving blowjobs for Jordans. You know what I'm trying to say? Before you had to work. Now you don't even have to work. You just buy a pair of Jordans. Or
I used to have a lot more
buy
Jordans.
A pair of tickets to the Yankee game. You know what I'm trying to say? Oh, man. This world is shot.
My Jordan collection is low.
Where did all my Jordans go? I don't think I owned one pair of Jordans in my entire life because I refuse. Not that I'm against it. Listen, if you got the money, like I said, do it. Some people, they have a living off it.
Yeah.
But I had the pair of threes, which were given to me because I didn't. I can't spend $250 on shoes. It's crazy. No.
Did it make you play like Jordan?
Yeah.
I
dunked. Yeah, I was 5 years old. I was like fucking 15 years old, and I dunked. Yes,
perfect.
And then I sold them for $30,000, and that's why we have a podcast.
Yeah, I wish.
All right.
I wish that was the story, motherfucker.
Yeah. And where like a lot of people are like, all right, dude, it's just a push present. It could be anything. But hold on. Let's look up how we get to the push present. I mean, and obviously this is if traditionally you go through the engagement, right? You have an engagement party. That's money. Then you have a wedding, right? Because after engagement, it's either you split or you continue to proceed. And you have a wedding. Now they want wedding gifts, which I'm a little skeptical of that too, because I don't know, call me old school, but I think the wedding is the gift, right? I mean, an average wedding from what I found is between 15 to like 35,000. That's average. But we're talking about some people actually go ahead and do it. And then their average in the, money world is between $60,000 to $100,000.
I want to know how it started off with where women needed to be traded along with cattle.
It's just not like
in order to marry them off, and now we got to pay.
Where do people even have this type of money?
This all started off with, please take her for chicken and the cow, and please take her, please.
And now we're doing 60,000 weddings.
Push present. It's only 2,000. Oh, it's 2,000. You don't love me that much. Okay, I got it.
So now,
fuck you.
So now, you have an engagement party, right? Let's say that's just, I'm going to throw an oddball number out there, $10,000, $15,000, right? You have an engagement party.
Yeah.
Now you have a wedding. Let's just say $60,000, right? So now you're at 75 grand. Now, after the wedding, what comes? The honeymoon, right? I think the average honeymoon, if you're going somewhere for at least 10 days to 2 weeks, is $6,000 to $12,000, especially if you're going to like Hawaii or wherever the fuck people go, Europe. But that's not even including the $2,000 to $4,000 you got to spend there throughout the weeks between food and gifts, and that's low balling. So you're almost at $150,000, $170,000, right? And it's not traditional no more. Like, some people, the husband, the wife's father does, they give you a better gift, or they actually buy some of the most things, the venue, you get everything else. But at the same time, a lot of people don't have it like that. And on top, now it's a wedding gift, which I hear people like get wedding gifts now. So now you get married, and I have to get you like a $10,000 ring. I just bought you the engagement ring, right? You have an engagement ring. Now you want another ring. And I get it. You get something out of it too, but I'd rather not. I'd rather you save the money, and I'll save my money, and we'll use it better, right? Investments.
So glad
buy a condo in Florida just to go down for 2 months when we retire. Push present, wedding gift.
Not this rock that you're going to be walking down the street, someone's going to stick you up, and there it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're doing wedding gifts and push presents, I can only imagine when you push this damn kid out, the first birthday. Because if you spent all that money, the first birthday's got to be another $10,000.
And look, it's unfortunate, but I'm sorry. You need to wean your girl off of Real Housewives. I think everybody needs to stop watching the shit.
That's their football.
People need to stop.
But that's all year round.
I can't.
That's the thing. I only get football from September to February. They get Real Housewives from January to December.
I don't know. Maybe 1 year there's going to have to be a trade where we say, all right, no football. But
that'll never happen. That's like heroin. Yeah.
No? You don't think?
And it's not like it's just one housewife. You have the housewives of Orange County, the housewives of New York, and then Jersey, and then you have Atlanta.
Jersey.
So they know what they're doing. Like, they'll have 3 months of this group, 3 months of that group, 3 months of here, and it's just a continuous cycle, round and round like a Ferris wheel. And their minds are going like that too.
Yeah,
that's how a woman's mind goes. We're so simple.
Honestly, I really do wish. Oh my God, we're so but I'm the expensive one. But I like a few expensive things. I don't have this thing where I need to be covered with things, with stuff. Like I don't need to be on the table. Just had a cesarean. I got my guts spilled off on the side, and I need a fucking necklace next to me. Like, look at this! Look at happy, yay, necklace, diamonds.
Well, that's and this is where I wrote this. Men, we don't change. We are simple. And I had people like, what does he mean? Vic, tell me what you mean. This is what I mean. Men, we are like guitars, right? Watch, hear me. Hear what I'm not saying right now, because watch my analogy.
Okay.
Men are like guitars. We are all the same motherfuckers. You met on the first date versus where we are today, where it's 1, 5 to 6 years later. We are guitars, but every once in a while, a guitar needs a little bit of a tuning, right? You spend 5 minutes, you have the thing, you're tuning, and then we're back together. Women are fucking every instrument in the world. You have some that are clarinets. You have some that are fucking bagpipes. Some that are Moroccan fucking drums. You don't know what the fuck you're going to get when it comes to women. And they're like trans instruments because that fucking clarinet can now be an electric guitar at a metal concert that can go back to being a harp, to a piano, back to a fucking Egyptian fucking triangle belting. It's fucking out of this world.
And you got to learn them all. You got to learn them all.
And if you don't learn at the age of 4, you never get to learn that shit. And at the age of 4, men are eating dirt and fucking throwing dolls at moving cars on a highway because that's what we do. Come on, man.
Right.
We're very simple. This is how simple we are. Listen to me. After this whole conversation at my friend Joe and Joanne's house, right? The baby finally went to bed. We were outside. We were just, bullshitting, talking. Joanne came out. She had to go down the block. I don't know. She had to go see her mom real quick. And we were just talking about how men were simple. We'll sit. We literally sat in the living room, the lights off. That's how simple we are. We didn't say one word, and we were just relaxing. Yeah. That only lasted a minute. She came back, turned the light on, and we were like vampires, and that's how simple men are, and women cannot understand. Just like Bill Burr said, we can sit down, have a beer, popcorn, and watch football for 10 hours and not say a word. Easy. And we're happy.
Easy.
And we are happy. That's us, like a reptile sheds its oldest layer of skin, and now we get new skin.
And I feel like because of this,
how simple
and low maintenance it is, when we got to go above and beyond, and we do all the time, but it doesn't seem that way, right? And I really feel like we, as men, as a group, should really come together and start getting more push on our girls to get us gifts for the things that, we do. But we don't get gifts, for instance, for picking where to eat, right? But that's something that's
so what are things that men we should start coming out with our own hallmark fucking stuff. Yeah. Yes.
I honestly, we don't have a show that pushes this from the Diamond Company to get me a nice ring, a nice bling and ring every time I go to the mall with you.
And just like you said, picking where to eat, we should get somewhat of a little gift, because it's not people all right, you just picking where. No, it's not, because when I say let's do tacos, it's we had that 2 days ago. All right, let's do Chinese. I'm not in the mood for Chinese. You want to do Italian? Yeah. Okay, yeah, we could do Italian. So it's you knew where you wanted to go all along. Why are we playing 21 questions? That's
because she needs to argue with you in order to get her way, and the only way to do that is to have you speak. So she
and men, we don't want to speak. This goes back to we could just sit in silence. Yes.
So where's my gift?
I can go to a bar by myself, watch football, not say a word, and if my team scores, turn over, give the guy a nod, and that's it. That's how simple we are. We don't even have to talk, and we're best friends already. Don't talk to me. I won't talk to you.
Yeah.
We give the nod. Yep. We scored a touchdown. Good shit. Let's continue. What else? Going to the mall.
I don't know.
That's a fucking gift.
Yeah.
That is work.
That's work.
That's
work. Especially if we're not intending on going to get anything that we consider important.
And I think the gift should be value. So going to a mall just to go to the mall should be between a $50 to $100 gift. Going to the mall before a birthday.
You guys spend a lot.
Should be $100 to $200 gift for men. I'm saying for us going to the mall, because there's a difference between going to the mall just to go and see what they got and then you pick something versus, I got to get this for this day. What time of the year it is? Where's the moon? How many stars are near the moon? This is the color I got to get. What's the season? And then imagine going to the mall before a fucking wedding or an engagement party. That should be $500 minimum to every man. Yes, because that's you're there from probably 10 in the morning, so about 4 p.m., just miserable, contemplating how high is this fucking mall? What's the top floor look like from the way down? can I make this jump?
Yeah.
That's what starts going. Like, you feel like you're at a nut house because everything looks the same. And you have all the other men that are hanging by the banister. And I don't think they're hanging by the banister to not go in the store. They're hanging by the banister to contemplate if they should jump off this motherfucker and land into the fucking Asian Jade section downstairs where everyone is eating sashimi and free fucking taste fucking.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's driving me nuts.
Yeah, you land on the table that goes around with all the sushi on it.
You fuck that train up. It's like Christmas. You fuck that merry-go train that goes around the train.
So that's $500 if you're going there shopping for a wedding.
Well, we should get paid by the hour.
Hey,
How
listen,
about that?
If you guys want to play along, if you guys want to play along, what do you think? Have them have the comment. Have whoever watches this maybe comment like what they think for one of the like, for instance, every time you pull out
$5,
right? You're saving her
$60
how much?
Plan B plan.
In Plan B.
Well, $60. I remember. I don't know. It could be $75 now.
Biden now, you probably would give them away like fucking M&Ms.
Hey, man, you get $5 of gas, you get 5 Plan B pills. See? Recession. It's a new definition.
Right. So if you pull out, how much of that $60 do you think should be yours?
$59.99.
How much? What?
Yeah.
$59.99. You would think. But I don't know. Let's hear from you guys. Let's see what you got.
And anyway, and like you said,
you got anything else?
If there's other fucking crazy Hallmark holidays and all this dumb shit like pull-outs and push babies, and what happens if the baby doesn't even come out, or if the baby comes out slightly, a little, like, should the gift depend on that too? Yes.
I would return the gift. And back up you go.
Get back in the hole. DNA test.
Put it back in. You need to cook a little longer.
This baby's 3 weeks premature now.
Oh, man, I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. So, yeah, $12,000 for a push present. You're never going to. I'm sorry. I wish I was rich enough to say, what's the big deal? But I'm not going to sit here and fucking pretend like I even know what the fuck.
Yeah, no, that's never going to. Even if I like I said, there's one thing if you have the money, like, and you were just brought up with millions, and you could do that because $100,000 is like $1,000 to you. That's one thing. But even if I had great money, like comfortable money, where I don't think I would still do that.
Yeah,
I would rather much go out to eat. Like, here's your push present. Let's go out to eat or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Or, like, for instance, maybe like a 10 or a 20 every time, you're asking for a blowjob and she says no. And for you to just be like, all right, cool. Just, that was nice. Here's a 20.
Thank you. Men could thought. Why not?
All right. Thanks for the package.
Exactly. Hey, that goes a long way.
Especially if you're asking 4 or 5 times a day. That's a lot.
What about why don't we get a present for actually remembering the anniversary, which we're not even supposed to remember? We're not really supposed to give a shit till it's like the 20th year. But every year I remember. Yeah. Every year I got to tell my boss, hey, I need a day off. You know what I mean? Like, why don't we get an anniversary gift? We've been in this fucking crazy shit for years too. Why do you just get the gift? No, I think.
You don't?
But I'm talking for the motherfuckers that
don't get a gift. Yeah, we all give gifts. Well, I mean, I would
actually. She goes over and beyond that. I can't stand because I feel like I got to match it. Then I'm like, come on. Yeah, because women,
it sucks either way.
since you'll be able to date for straight women or even gay women, someone's got to take the role of paying for food. And when you're a regular woman who's being treated by men, you can go on dates for free. You're gonna get a lot of free shit, so you bank that money. Us idiot men have to pick up checks, chivalry. We have to pick up checks and we have to do this and we have to do that. So we're slowly beating the drum on our bank, ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. But you guys been saving up since you can date, which is what's an average dating? I think by 15, 16, you have your first little crush. By 17, 18, you actually, we're going to the movies, Dave and Buster's or whatever the fuck kids do. Dave and Buster's was always my go-to date.
It's kind of like you drive around with, it's like you're driving around with a gas station on top of you.
Yeah.
Like that's cheating.
Oh man, I feel 100 pounds lighter. I feel like I got to get a lot of shit off my chest today. Yes, remember, we're
That's
fucking
good.
guitars.
That's good.
We
I'm
only
glad
gotta
we're
be tuned
covering
once in a while. Yes.
Occasionally, but definitely want you to
For the
swim.
women that listen, and there are women that listen to the show, give your men that day, man. Just relax. Be a couple. He'll return the favor. We return the favor 6 days a week. We only bother you once in a while, you know. Or in the shower, I forget a towel, or
for a sandwich.
Let's reverse the roles a little bit, all right? I wonder what a push present is for men that can have babies.
You're absolutely right.
Because men can have babies now. You know that, right? I wonder what they get.
Yeah. How you can't
Are you breastfeeding?
Say they don't. So yeah, I guess no.
Yeah. Because you
Me
have
personally, I'm
newborn,
not. I do, and I do have these luscious milk titties. But no.
Okay.
Amanda is.
Why is Amanda and not you? Why aren't you doing half the work?
Unfortunately, my the milk produced by men,
it's too thick.
It makes them grow mustaches.
It's not really milk. It's more on the salt.
Yeah. It's more of a custard.
It's something you would see in a Boston.
Gross.
So you think we're good? Did we get out what we need to get out, or is there still more? You sure?
I think we're good.
Jack's news or what?
I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
Let's roll into it.
Jack, what do we got?
So we finally found a lucky guy, person who won 1.37. You have to include the tens place there, the tens hundreds place, because $1.37 billion.
So big.
$1 billion with a B, third largest prize in the United States history, and there was such a huge wave for people to buy these fucking lottery tickets.
I bought $100 worth.
Something like 30% increase in lotto ticket sales, like right before the numbers dropped. Friday's winning numbers, if you still have a ticket and you don't know that you're a fucking millionaire, you're an idiot. 67, 45, 57, 36, and 13. The Mega Millions was 14. So, for those that don't know, it's 1 in 303 million.
Those are the odds. See, that's how you look at them.
1 in 303.
I look at it as reverse. I look at it as
that's how I look.
Those people have the same odds, so I'm more likely to win. That's how a real degenerate looks at. Maybe, and you know what? You might be, feeding into that whole degeneracy thing. $10. You never know. Fine. Like $10 is not going to make.
You want to know why? And I'll tell you why.
I will. Hold on.
$10 doesn't make or break anybody, right? But you only put $10 in. No, you put 10.
I lie. I did $50
here,
for
you
this.
go into a pool over
Me
there.
Me and Dom did 50 each.
Okay, $50. Do you know how much money was taken off?
I have no idea
winnings?
what the percent is.
According to Forbes, right? The winner of the 1 point, and by the way, after all of the other people got their money out of the pool, he came out with 1.28 billion, but after taxes was 433 million.
That's Jeff Bezos' shit without the other two decks. They took back, or that's what he got? That's what he got.
No, that's money that the government. Oh, right. So how much was the difference?
Not really. Over 500 something million. See, the thing is,
it was like half.
I have an app, right? And it said you're going to get, out of 1.28 billion, you should get, I think it was 692 million. I think there was other little winners here and there, a couple 100,000, maybe $1 million here.
Yeah.
I think his winnings should have been higher, but the fact that they had, because you got to understand, the whole world was playing this. This is why I got up to there. People don't really, people play when it's 100 million, but once it starts, I started playing when it hit 810 million. I was like, oh shit, let me jump on this bankroll and invest into this guy's fucking millions. You're never gonna win, but you still gotta try.
Think. So you want to know how much it came out to? So $433 million comes out to $847 million that went back to the lotto. Well, no, not back, because they never technically had it. All of the people gave that money to what is that government run fucking lotto? Yeah. Is it the fucking Hunger Games? I'm guessing it's a government run, Hunger Games style lotto.
Man.
I understand that. But understand how much money just disappeared from the poor people. That could have went to. And by poor people, I include fucking. So you have to be poor, really, to have this mentality of, whoa, 1 in 303 million could be me.
I'm gonna get me a whole cattle set.
Right. Yeah, one of you fucking suckers. Right? Yeah, one of you fucking suckers. But meanwhile, the whole community just dumped $800 million. You know what the fuck the poor community could have done with $800
Blow
million?
Blow it at your near Vegas casino, because that's what they would have done. Jeez. If this guy is broke and he won $433 million, that's not going to last him in the next 2-3 years. It'll be gone. I think the average rate of people winning the lotto are like 70% of them go get bankrupt immediately, which I still...
Because you got to be a degenerate to play.
You just got a gift of God. You got something that not everyone in this world is ever going to claim. And you can't invest. You cannot invest.
So like I would go down and
build condos at your beautiful beach resident places and just build something for the future of my family. I don't know what the fuck. 50 million's going to Vegas that weekend. But I'm saying you still have 375 million left, You would think. I know.
You would think. But like you said, the kind of person, because also the person that wins this probably didn't spend 50.
You never know. I have no idea. Really? No,
1,000.
We don't know that.
2,000. I think so. No. I'm just saying over the since the beginning, because these people play when the numbers are low too.
Oh, true. So,
I don't care. I'll buy. So
But,
right? You got to think. And so of course they're just going to go, well, if I won $1 billion. Spending $3,000, $5,000, I can't wait to see how much money if I spend all of it.
I don't personally know a guy, but I've heard there was a guy who owned a club in Astoria back in the day who hit the Mega Millions back to back. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, how can he hit? No. It was like 100 million and then like 20 million. Yeah, he literally hit the first and second one back to back. It was like 120 million and then 20 million. But, hey.
So?
Because you brought it up. He probably used that 120 million to buy 1,000, 2,000, maybe 10,000 worth of numbers, which was a good investment. And that's only going to happen once in a lifetime. So
you would only play those once, but somebody who's got a lot of money, who's a degenerate.
Well, I forgot who it was. Someone on Instagram. I want to say it was DJ Khaled.
I mean, just poor people.
I don't know. One of those fat fucks. He bought over $10,000 in lottery tickets. I don't think he hit. Yeah, but he can exactly. He could do that. That's 10 minutes at a show. So, all right, are we ready for Vic's fantasy football?
Stop. Yeah, man, rolling.
Boom. All right. This week's on Vic's Fantasy Football Notes and Breakdown. I'll be covering the tight end position. And I'll just get into the defense real quick. Not that it's, whatever. Like I said, it's too soon to draft them. So let's get off tight end positions for the start of 2022 NFL football season. Be mindful that when I do give these tips and notes, we are in the month of August. If you're not drafting until late August or the first few days before the season starts, touch up on these things. There's injuries preseason. Just make sure you're not going according to what I'm saying now for 3, 4, 5 weeks down the line. All right, so yes, exactly. There could be change.
Subject
there
to
could be
change.
stuff. Now, remember how I said quarterbacks are like the appetizers? Well, tight ends are like the desserts. You want something good, something that's going to add your experience better, right? They're not wide receivers. They're not running backs. They're not really your flex, which is multiple positions depending on the league. But tight ends are a dessert. You want something good, something kind of like you set it and forget it. So here's the rankings. To my knowledge, what I've came up with, tight end number 1, I believe is going to be Mark Andrews, Baltimore Ravens. He played all 17 weeks last year. He got 11 top 10 performances, 7 of them being in the top 3, and only 4, and out of the 7, 4 of them were actually top 5. So he was good, man. He's been a top 5 tight end for 3 straight years. Baltimore did lose a wide receiver, Hollywood Brown, so I think his target share might increase in some volume. He's always a big player when it comes to position. He had over 150 targets last year. Although the Ravens are going to be running a little heavier from the reports, I still believe Mark Andrews is still going to hit between 140 to 150 targets, and he's going to dominate in the red zone. So last year, this is how he stacked up. He had 154 targets, 107 receptions. He had 9 touchdowns, and he went for 1,361 yards. So if you add him, he earned you 247 fantasy points. So he's an A+. His ADP, which is 208. So he's going towards the end of the second round. And if it's your turn, he's definitely a great pick, especially for full PPR. I most certainly will try to grab him. Where I have him, I would try to get him maybe in the 3rd. I still think there's more depth, wide receiver, more running backs that you can get. But he is a set and forget, 100%. Tight end number 2, Travis Kelce, who's always been a top guy. I put him at 2. There's reasons why I put him at 2. But he played 16 weeks, right? He had 12 top 10 performances, 7 of them being in the top 3. I know what everyone's thinking, but Kelce's the number 1 guy. Listen, this was tough for me to place him as the tight end number 2 for this year, but here's the facts. Mahomes doesn't have those extra weapons. Mahomes needs to build confidence in other wide receivers that he's getting for this year. So, I mean, and also Kelce's getting up there in age. I mean, I think he's still going to be the top 3 wide tight ends at the end of the year, but you got to understand, he's up in age. I believe he's going to be 33. If Mahomes doesn't have his other wide receivers, like he had Tyreek Hill, which sometimes got double teamed, which made Kelce the open guy. But if Kelce is now going to be the main guy, the defense is going to harp on this guy. You can't be mad. He's still going to be a top 5. He's probably going to be number 2 or 3. And he's not as youthful as Andrews is. But here's how Kelce stacked up last year. He had 135 targets, 92 receptions, 9 touchdowns, 1,125 yards, and he got you 217 fantasy points. So not many targets. But then again, he is a tight end position, and he still has the chemistry with Mahomes. His ADP is 201. I'm not drafting him in the second round. Like I said, I think there's more in depth with wide receivers and running backs. But I would also pick him up in the 3rd round. He's a great pickup for the 3rd round. Tight end, Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz from the Dallas Cowboys. Schultz.
Yeah.
Yes. Me too.
Used to know a Schultz.
He played 17 games, having 9 top 10 performances. I mean, his quarterback, Dak Prescott, is now back to himself. He's back from injury. They're going to have a little more of a running game. But I also think Dalton Schultz is going to be great. And Dallas lost their Amari Cooper. He's on another team. We'll touch on wide receivers then. But he's not going to be as dominant as Kelce and Andrews this year. He's not going to be that guy. He's not. But he's also a guy where you can put in your tight end position. You don't have to fish every week. You just set him, you forget him, and occasionally he's going to have those great games. This is how he stacked up last year. 104 targets, 78 receptions. He got you 8 touchdowns, 808 yards, and 170 fantasy points. His ADP is in the 6th, which is why I'm saying he's a steal. because you can build on your wide receivers. You can build on your running back. You might even draft a quarterback. You might actually get a backup running back. And then you can pick this guy up in the 6th round. So I think where he's at is good. I'm looking at mid-6th, early 7th round for the steal. Tight end number 4. One of my guys last year. Little disappointed for me, but Darren Waller, Las Vegas Raiders. Now, before you say, why don't I have Darren Waller in the 3rd position, hear me out. He's a dominant player, and I would draft him before Schultz from the Cowboys. But here's the thing, Jack. He played 11 games last year. He had 5 top 10 performances, and then he was out on injury. I'm not a fan when it comes to injury. I think people can re-aggravate very quickly, especially when you're a monster and a beast. He will catch the ball even if he has to jump 6 feet into a fire pit and dive and land into thumbtacks. He does what he has to do, but he was out on injury. Yes, he's a risky player.
Makes him more of a risk.
He does have good potential. You know, Las Vegas now has Devontae Adams, which is an elite wide receiver. So his target share might drop slightly. I'm not saying his production isn't. He might still have a great consistency of catching, but this is how he stacked up last year. He had 93 targets, only 55 receptions, which is great. You know, 93 to 55 is amazing. But he had 2 touchdowns, 665 yards, and 106 points he got you. His ADP is 406. And Dalton Schultz is 6. What did I say? Oh, yeah. Don't. That's I only said it before the show. His ADP is 602. And now you got Darren Waller at 406. I wouldn't go. I would try to pick him up during the 6th. I would definitely pick up Schultz before Darren just because Derek Carr has other weapons now, and it's going to be better. Tight end number 5, George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers. Kittle played 14 games last year, had 8 top 10 performances, but also had 4 outside the top 25. In those 4 weeks, he finished as the tight end 26, 31, 38, and 29. Listen, the guy is talented. He is nasty. He is crazy. But when he's out, he's out. If he's on, he's on. If he's out, he's out. And I'm just saying, like, it's hard. It's hard to have him if you had him, but it's also not hard to have him if you never had him. So, like I said, he's still a top 5 guy. He's a set forget. If he has a good game, he's going to have a great game. But by the second half, if he's not where you want him to be, it just might not work out for you. I don't know. So, like I said, he's a top 5 guy in my eyes. He could finish again in the top 5. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. I kind of refuse to draft any San Francisco player because in 2019 and 20, every San Francisco player I drafted were getting injured. And I hate that. No, it was not COVID.
It wasn't COVID?
His ADP is around 402, which I see him as a mid to late 6th rounder. So if you can get him in the 6th or, you know, in that 6th round, then you're good. You know, like I said, set it, forget it. Hopefully he has a good game. If he has a bad game, it's going to be bad. If he has a good game, it might be good. There's no middle. It's either he's a top 5 or he's outside the 25. And I'm just going to harp on the last, 5 guys. Just real quick, tight end 6, who I have is Kyle Pitts from the Atlanta Falcons. He stacked up with 110 targets last year, 68 reception. He got 1,026 yards. His downfall, he only got 1 touchdown. Jeez. But he still got you 142.6 fantasy points. Tight end number 7, TJ Hawkinson, Detroit Lions. 83 targets, 61 receptions, 583 yards, but he had 4 touchdowns. So that's like dessert where like you never had dessert. You taste it, you're like, oh, that's not bad. I like it. But like I said, tight end is such a hard position because it's not like the wide receiver where every week you can draft someone and be like, oh, this guy's going to be a star. It is who it is. Tight end number 8 for me is going to be Zach Ertz from the Arizona Cardinals. Right. He stacked up with 112 targets, receptions 74, 5 touchdowns. He did 763 yards and 143 fantasy points. So Zach Ertz, I think, is a steal. But you never know with this guy, man. You just don't know. Number 9, Dallas Goedert from the Philadelphia Eagles. He had 76 targets last year, 56 receptions, 4 touchdowns, 830 yards. This is a guy that could blow up or not show up. So, but these are also guys, everyone I'm listing here is a set and forget. You know, you got to get them They're going to be good if they stay out of the injury zone. And tight end number 10, I'm going with Cole Kmet. He didn't have any touchdowns, but he got targeted 93 times. He had 60 receptions. He went for 612 yards, and he got you under 100 fantasy points, 91 in total. But he could have a nice little breakout year, like I say. No, not really, but like I say, compared to everyone else, I'm just listing guys where you can put in the tight end position and you really don't have to worry about if they stay out of the injury. You know what I'm trying to say? It's kind of like something like you don't want to be fishing for tight ends every week. It gets annoying. You start dropping in your waiver pickups. It just gets crazy. Now for defense, people draft defense too soon. That's my little note on that. I see every year people will sometimes, whether you are in a 3 wide receiver league or a double flex, you have 10 spots to fill up, 2 being kicker and defense. Depending on how your teams fit. But when you're drafting, don't pick them too soon. Don't pick the defense too soon. That's something where every week you try to harp on which defense is playing against which team. Obviously, last year, every time someone played against the Jets, I try to pick them up. Even if it was a week ahead of the game. Just because I knew what other people are up to, I said, fuck it. I'm going to risk it. And I'll pick this team because I know in week 7, it'll be week 5. I know in week 7 they're playing the Jets or they're playing Miami or whatever the case may be. I'm going to pick them up because they're going to complement it. They're like the after dinner drink. That's how I view the defense. After your 5-course meal, after your dessert, you want to have a little after dinner drink before you get on the road. Yes, or the Montenegro, that's one of my favorites. Some or it could be a double espresso. Typically, try to pick your defense when you have the last, like I said, feel comfortable. I'm going to list who I think are the top 10 defenses. But if, like I'm saying, if you can get the Buffalo Bills, that's a score. Right. But don't risk picking the Buffalo Bills in like the 10th round. There's just so much more things you can do with that. Here's my top 10 defense rankings before we end the show. Number 1, I have the Buffalo Bills. Number 2, I have the Los Angeles Rams. Number 3, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 4, I have Denver Broncos. Number 5, I have the New Orleans Saints. 6 is going to be the LA Chargers, San Francisco 49ers, Green Bay Packers. Number 9, which I think I'm going to pick them as my defense, is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. And number 10, of course, the Indianapolis Colts, which always stay strong on that. And Jack, that is the podcast for today. Let's hope this record button actually works. Any last words, buddy, before I flip out if this thing doesn't work?
We'll be seeing.
I don't have a garage yet. So.
All right. In the future. Just want to thank everybody for sticking with us. We have some merch, which, genuine leather hat label thing on the hat that Vic's wearing. I fucking love these things, man. Try and support us however you think you can and however
like, comment, share. We're on YouTube.
Until next time.
Yeah, give us a shout out, man. I think this was one of our great episodes. It's always better when you could do something natural, right? But we hope we touched you. We'll see you next week. This is the UnFollowVic podcast. Peace.